All right, Eagles, here we go. Let's talk about choosing your electives. The first thing that you need to take into consideration is that you have so many opportunities in front of you. You need to use them to the best of their ability while maintaining balance in your schedule. This is so crucially important. We see too many students who don't quite create their schedule in a way that allows them to have at least one class that's not going to have a huge amount of homework or time commitment outside of class. 3 core classes and 1 course that's not going to be quite as demanding is as much as you should probably do in a semester. So as you choose your electives, we have to make sure there's something in there that's just for enjoyment, that's not going to be a big stress for you, something that's fun. So considering those things, let's dig into what elective choices you have and how you can find them. Again, from the counseling corner, if we go into enrollment and course information, select the enrollment course guide, and we'll get right into the Zello course guide for the year. Obviously, we've got dual credit classes that are available. I do want to go through this chart with you and make sure that you pay attention to a couple important things. First of all, off to the left-hand side, you'll see the school that is offering the college credit, and then also the required GPA for each of those schools. So Newman requires at least a 3.0. WSU Tech requires a 2.5 for their dual credit classes. And then if you get down into some of the block programming where students actually attend the Wichita State Technical Campus, those GPAs can sometimes be a little bit lower, closer to a 2.0. So you'll want to make sure you pay attention to what GPA is required for you to be able to earn those dual credits, both high school credit and college credit. Next, you'll see the name of the high school class. So that means what it's going to be in our course guide. And then next, what's the name of the college class? And that will help you determine how it transfers. Credit hours, tuition cost, both by credit hour and the total cost. And then if there's any materials or books that are required, high school credit, and then whether or not taking the college credit that is associated with that course is optional or required. Please make sure you pay attention to this. There are some classes that are career specific, and those may be taught by an instructor that's not a Mays USD 266 full-time employee. They could be an employee from WSU Tech, and therefore, if you take that class from them, you are required to sign up for that college credit. It is not optional. So there is a ton of information in here, and there are a number of classes that you're naturally going to take to work your way towards graduation that are also offered for dual credit and typically just your gen ed classes that you're going to need for any major associate or bachelor degree. So we definitely encourage you to take advantage of those things. All right, let's back up and see some of the other important information in the student course guide. Next, underneath enrollment policy and information, want to make sure that you know all of what's available here for you. First, we have the credit check worksheet that's available for students who prefer paper pencil as they write out their plans and check off what they've accomplished. So we've updated this a little bit. Hopefully this will help meet the needs of those who prefer to do things non-digitally. Next, you can get information about what classes you need to take and the GPA you need to earn in order to be eligible to graduate with honors. Again, there's no valedictorian or salutatorian anymore. We're looking at the LAUD system. So summa cum laude, magna cum laude, and cum laude. Please take a look at those for our high achieving students and make sure you make great decisions about what it is that you need to do for your long-term plan of study. You can dig in here to see more information about the requirements for National Honor Society, or you can reach out to Mrs. Morawski with questions there. There's also information about how to earn an academic letter and make the honor roll. If we jump into the weighted course offerings, you'll be able to see all of the courses that we offer that are either considered honors or AP level. Honors classes receive an additional half-point weighting when it comes to calculating GPA. And AP classes receive that additional full point. You'll notice down here for our incoming freshmen, we do have the new Honors Earth Space Science that's listed as a new honors course. So as you take more of these rigorous classes and challenge yourself, you're rewarded through that grade point average. We have condensed the qualified admissions and Kansas Scholar curriculum into this one link that goes out to the Kansas Board of Regents website. This has been changing from year to year. They have tried to make modifications and keep up with some of the challenges that have come from COVID. So instead of having a written document there, we just wanted to link so you would have the most recent information and changes. I am going to take the time to talk about grade classifications. This seems to come up, and we need to make sure you understand what it means to actually move on in high school. You have to have a certain number of credits to be able to be promoted to the next grade level. So in order for a freshman to become a sophomore, you must have earned 4 credits by the end of your freshman year. Now, reclassification only happens in August, meaning if I have 3.5 credits when I start my second year of high school, I'm still considered a freshman for the remainder of that year. If after the first term I'm up to over 4 credits, I'm still a freshman until I get up to 12 and jump up there, hopefully to junior status by your third year if you make up some credits. So it's just important to recognize that failed classes do have to be made up. And this is especially true for courses that maybe you didn't fail, but you received an NC on your transcript, meaning no credit. And that's almost always due to absences. So make sure you stay up on your absences and you are turning in any kind of medical documentation that you can to have those become excused and not count towards your allowable absences that eventually cause you to lose credit. We do have information in here for early completer policy. This would only be for our current juniors who are going to become seniors next year. If you're considering being a student that would finish after the first semester and not take any courses from Mays High School in the spring, you'll want to read through this and make sure that you understand that you are an early completer, you are not an early graduate, and the difference is you will not receive your diploma until May at graduation like everyone else. We can provide letters that sometimes will help whatever your next steps are in the spring to state that you have completed the requirements to be a graduate. You just haven't received that yet. We've also included information in here about the schedule change request form. As always, you can pick these up in the counseling office as needed. And finally, there is a college release contract that you can look at as needed, but this would be for a very rare occasion if there's a course that you'd like to take off campus that we do not offer at Mays USD 266, and you need to try to get permission to take that in order to have it count towards your high school transcript. So, oh my goodness, there is so much information there. It's going to take a little time for you to absorb it all. I don't expect you to memorize it, but I do want you to know that it's there and how you can access it. Next, we've got athletic activity information. So this would be for our district eligibility to be able to participate in sports and activities. There's also a link to what CASHA's requirements are. And then specifically, if you are a student athlete who would be looking at participating at NCAA Division I or II, or even at the NAIA, we've got links there for you to be able to get in and see what those requirements are. And we strongly encourage you to reach out to your counselor and let us help you make sure that you've got the right amount of core credits. Okay, so now let's jump into understanding how to look up the different courses that we offer. Starting over here under discipline and courses, you can scan through, say I'm interested in what do we have to offer in, I really want to pick mathematics if you know my background, but let's say, okay, let's say I want to look at, how about fine arts? I'm really interested in some of the art classes. So if I click into art, it takes me to that place in the course guide. And now I can see in alphabetical order all of the courses that are offered in the art department. As I'm reading these, let's consider Ceramics 1. You've got the name of the course here, the course number, which probably doesn't mean as much to you, but it helps us counselors make sure that we get you in the right seat. Off to the right, this tells you how many credits that course is worth. So a half credit is a 9-week or term class. A full credit would be a semester or 18-week course. And then off to the far right-hand side, this tells you what grade levels the course is available to. Additionally, if there is a prerequisite for that course, it's going to be listed here underneath. And if I want to click on that, that's hyperlinked, it'll jump me right up here, Art 3D, and tell me more about the course. That means I have to take Art 3-dimensional before I'm able to take Ceramics 1. So there's a little bit more about how to dig in there and look for some of your electives. I do want to bring some attention to the non-graded courses. This is where you would find information about selecting that you want to be some sort of a teacher assistant or counseling assistant, as well as our seniors who would like to have a no block. So no blocks are also located here. They do have a course number and they do have to be entered into your plan in order to reach the 8 credits that would fill. So it doesn't count as a credit, but it is one of the periods for the day. So it is important that you fill in with those no blocks. And then finally, I also want to bring up some of the WSU technical vocational tracks are in here. So if this is something that you are continuing to do because you've already started the program as a junior, or if you're interested in starting it for your junior and or senior year, you can read about the different programs that are offered. These are courses that you would actually take off campus. You could either transport yourself, or we do have buses available that can help get you to these locations. And they would take up half of your day. So either blocks 1 and 2, and then you would come back and take your other 2 courses from Maize High School, or the opposite, you could have classes at Maize High in the morning and then jump to do your WSU Tech courses in the afternoon. If you are interested in a program that isn't listed in here, just reach out to the counselors and we will help you get set up. Please contact your encore teachers, contact department heads, ask your counselors, ask your friends, have some really good conversations about making sure you are selecting classes that are going to be both good for you in the long run, but also give you that balanced schedule so that you can be successful in all of your core and elective classes.